I am probably going to use less than my 5 minutes, so that's my plan at least. So we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to be talking about work I do jointly with Mike Barley, who's going to be speaking later in the day on adaptive problem solving. So I'm going to talk about a few specific things that we've worked on, and then he's going to talk later on about a higher level kind of presentation about the same work. So what we're trying to do is have a problem solver adapt itself to the problem at hand automatically as it goes. And we've worked on 3 basic areas, only 2 of which I'm going to talk about today, and that's problem reformulation and algorithm choice. So the first work we did was on problem reformulation. This was in terms of the planning area where they use the PDDL representation language for representing the problems they're trying to solve. And it's basically a set-based formulation. And so because of that, if you have 10 spoons in your drawer for the problem you're trying to solve, they're called spoon 1, spoon 2, spoon 3. They all have to be identified because it's a set-based representation. And what this means then with your planner, it's going to try, well, I could pick up spoon 1, or I could pick up spoon 2, or I could pick up spoon 3. And you see the problem. It rapidly just explodes on you. So what we did is we took these problems and we automatically decided if we could reformulate them, and then we reformulated them automatically into a bagged representation that just talked about we have 10 spoons in the drawer and they're all the same. Use one of them. And of course, in that kind of representation, you could solve the problems much faster. And we had several problems, several papers in that kind of area. The other thing that we've been working on is algorithm choice. So until just a few years ago, surprisingly, if you used a heuristic bidirectional search algorithm, it would perform worse than a blind bidirectional search algorithm, one with no heuristic at all, a large percentage of the time. Now, you might find that somewhat upsetting. We found that somewhat upsetting. And so we developed basically the first bidirectional search algorithm that's guaranteed, if it has a heuristic, to do at least as well as blind. So that was just a few years ago. And since then, we've also been able to find a way to use the heuristic inaccuracies in the forward direction and the backward direction to get a much better idea of how long something's going to take to solve, and use that without losing consistency. So both of these problems that we've done in the last 4 years were basically open problems since before most of you were born. So it's nice that we finally got around to solving them. And so that's it for me.